Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you my niece, Tarjanika Richards.
Steal away, steal away to Jesus.
Come on, say that.
Steal away,
Yes, Lord.
steal away home. I got long
Yes,
to
Lord.
stay. Steal away home. That was the songs that our ancestors sung as they navigated through the Underground Railroad, guided by none other than the woman they called Moses, Harriet Tubman. What I find so very interesting about that daunting time in our history is that no matter the struggle, no matter the degradation, no matter the racism, our forefathers, our ancestors were determined to keep pushing forward. There was a spirit of perseverance that captured their souls and allowed them to press on through it all.
Yes.
So in order for us to properly and continuously honor those who came before us, we must fight without fail to keep the fire burning.
Yes. Yes.
I wish they had a lot more young men in here right now.
Yes.
And I'm kind of veering off because there's a lot that needs to be said to them. So I tell you what I say, I suggest you go back and you talk to those young men because there's a problem going on right now. As young men, I implore you to liken yourselves to some of your amazing ancestral male examples.
Yes.
Not only Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr., but to the ones like Booker T. Washington, who gave them the motivation to be great. Booker T. Washington was born a slave and later became an advisor to presidents. Or Frederick Douglass, who was such a great orator that the Northerners couldn't even believe that he was ever a slave. Long gone are the days when you can turn on the television and see positive role models as black men. But young men, you have the ability to revitalize a movement if you just keep the fire burning. You see in 1 Corinthians 15 and 58 it says, "Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, be ye steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." All that is telling you, young men, is that you put your trust, you put your faith, and you put your heart in the Lord. All of your work in the Lord. Because if you put your trust, your faith, and your work in man, he will fail you every time. Remember, my black brothers, that you are standing on the shoulders of giants. Giants that thought so much of themselves that they lived respectfully and gave of themselves so that you could have better. So to you young black men, I dare you to not be a statistic. I dare you to hush up your critics. I dare you to respect your elders. I dare you to respect these young ladies even when they don't respect themselves. I dare you. I dare you to turn these embers into flames and keep the fire burning. To my young ladies, I urge you to tap into the class and dignity and self-respect demonstrated by the women that fought to get you the equal freedoms that you enjoy today. Women like the incomparable Sojourner Truth, who escaped to freedom to become a civil rights activist and a force in the women's rights movement. Or Septima Clark, who was known as the grandmother of the civil rights movement and played a major role in voting rights. These women carried quite a load on their backs, but they never complained because the reward was greater than the sacrifice. In Romans 12:1 and 2 it reads, "I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God." Young ladies, all I'm saying is this: don't allow the world to dictate your wardrobe because your self-worth should mean more to you than fitting in. How much respect do you expect to garner if you're always walking around scantily clad? Show the world that you are much more than your physical attributes. Use that brain that God blessed you with to advance your generation and keep the fire burning. So young ladies, I dare you to be different. I dare you to lead by example. I dare you to break every chain that society has placed on you. I dare you to rise up and fly high. As I think about the courage of our ancestors, I'm reminded of a song that goes a little something like this. I don't feel no waste time. Too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. I'm pretty sure that was the sentiment felt throughout the civil rights movement. And I would venture to say that it's the same sentiment needed now.
Yes.
We haven't fought hard enough to be tired. We haven't risen high enough to be tired. We have not been that village to these children to be tired. We need to be tireless in our resolve. Because this country is trying to make history repeat itself in the worst way. I refuse to bow down to the reins of that history. I refuse to be labeled as ignorant. And I refuse to sit idly by and let them incarcerate and murder an entire generation. Black history, our history, is important because we need to know our greatness. If we don't tell our story, then rest assured it will never be told. Black history is not readily available in an American history book because they want you to believe that you came from nothing and therefore you will amount to nothing. Contrary to what white folks want you to believe, we have enough black history to fill up an entire 365-day calendar. That is how great we are. Our accomplishments reach far beyond sports and music. We are descendants of inventors, scientists, doctors, activists, leaders, poets, lawyers, and now a president. So can you keep the fire burning? We must keep the fire burning for Trayvon Martin. We must keep the fire burning for Jordan Davis. We must keep the fire burning for Renisha McBride. We must keep the fire burning for Kendra Johnson. We must keep the fire burning for Keith Evans. We must, by all means, keep the fire burning.
You own it, baby.
They told me my color was a sin. But Lance Jeffers told me that my blackness is the beauty of this land. I was scorched and scolded because of my gender and race. But Sojourner Truth said, "Ain't I a woman?" I was kept in bondage for over 300 years. But alas, Langston Hughes said, "Get on board our freedom train." I was constantly kicked down because I wasn't light enough, but Maya Angelou said, "Still I rise." As I close, I'm reminded of a play that I did at the Sanger Theater when I was in the 10th grade. That play was entitled "God Took Time Out to Color Me." The words of that closing song spoke volumes then, and it speaks volumes now. I only want to spread love and to be let free. It's not my fault that God took time out to color me. Is it stupidity, jealousy, or insecurity? Or is it because God did not complete thee? I know you're upset because God took time out to color me.